I'm Ritzy, I'm from the Joy Formidable, and we're downstairs at the Smiling Moose in Pittsburgh. It's quite dingy.
I'm David, that's a tongue twister. I play bass in the Joy Formidable.
Hey, well, I'm Matt from the Joy Formidable. I play the drums and occasionally don't play the drums.
Look at it, it's a bit smelly, isn't it?
People have died down here, whole families, I think. So we're going to start. I'm just going to ask you some questions here. Have fun with this. But, okay, I noticed that on Record Store Day, you guys were able to press the whirring.
Yes.
Okay, so that's really awesome. Were you guys able to take advantage of actually buying anything for yourself on Record Store Day? Tell me about that.
You know what? We didn't. We weren't anywhere near a record store on Record Store Day. So we need to talk to somebody about that.
You guys don't get along with trains very well. Can you give me an idea of, you know, just give me a little bit of the good, the bad, and the ugly side of riding the American railways?
Well, I think I don't think there's a particularly ugly side to riding the American railways unless you miss the train, and then that would be
you.
Sad. Yeah, because you'd be thinking, oh, now I'm going to be late, or I'm going to miss something. But yeah, I've always enjoyed riding the American trains, and I hope to ride many more.
Well,
Tell me a little bit about
we
that.
just made the mistake of going from Philadelphia to New York on National Train Day, and it was after the show that we'd done at Kung Fu Necktie in Philadelphia, and we were, let's just say, we were in rather exuberant mood, and I think the fact that it was National Train Day got a little bit too much for us. It was just such an exciting, you know, event, really.
Sure.
So yeah, we got told that if we didn't shut up, we'd have to get off at the next stop. So that was our first one. We just keep getting on the wrong train, you know, which
only here in the States you're getting on wrong trains, or do you do that national, you know, internationally as well?
I kind of want to make us sound like cleverer and say it's just in the States, but I think it's everywhere.
I hope to ride many more.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Well, I couldn't say obviously for sure, but I personally never really had anything. I mean, yeah, I think I do believe there's forces that are unexplained, but whether or not they're things that come from within us as well, it's too difficult to say for sure. I think it's slightly ignorant to be utterly clear on it. You know, you got to be open about these things, but all I can go off is my experience, and I suppose up until now I don't have a definitive answer. But
right.
I think that you know what the human mind is capable of, and what forces you know are capable of, we still don't know. And obviously there's something like, for instance, with twins, you know, and people where there's that real connection that sometimes things can be felt that you can't really explain. I don't
Absolutely.
know. That's a good question. Very, very difficult.
Good answer. It's very true. Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't know. It's difficult. I mean, you know, I don't like to have a definitive answer. There's so many things that kind of are unexplained and still a mystery to us. So, you know, I think it's kind of ignorant to kind of go yes, definitely, or no, definitely. I think.
Sure.
You know, it's. I grew up in a very ramshackled house in North Wales, and it used to be an old Calvinistic manse, and through my childhood, from a very early age, right the way through my teens, we had lots of very strange things happen in that property, and things that we can't explain, and things that we've seen with our own eyes, and you know, whatever you want to call it. But there was definitely some things that were very, very difficult to explain, you know, without kind of getting in too much into the kind of the ghosties and ghouly stereotypes. But yeah, I'm on the fence with this one. We've experienced a few things that have been very, very strange.
So talking a little bit about you guys last June, interesting time for you guys. Actually got a chance to meet and play with Sir Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
In front of a very needless to say, festive audience of like 75,000 people. I mean, what was that like, really? I mean,
it was
incredible.
Great. It was great to, you know, have a chance to do that, and we turned up and we kind of got in the venue and we met Paul and we were just kind of Sir Paul even, And, don't want to negate the sir.
Right.
He'll smite me down. No, he's a very nice guy. And we got to chat to him, and I met one of my drumming heroes who was playing for him at that time, which was Abraham Laborio Jr. And yeah, it was great, really good fun, and nice guys as well.
Did you get to meet him?
We did. We got to meet him. He was very, very welcoming to us. He was very kind. I think his approach and his team's approach, you know, definitely a lot of people could learn from that, because he was very respectful and interested and very kind to us and made us feel good about being there. So, and you don't always get that from other bands that you're playing with. So, you know, considering how many years he's done this, and you know the level of celebrity that's, you know, that goes along with him, it was it was great that he hadn't lost just being down to earth ultimately. So
he seems as if he would be.
Yeah.
Were you a little bit nervous to meet him?
No, I was really excited to meet him. I mean, I think the nicest thing, you know, was I actually had my mum there, and you know, just, you know, from that generation, I mean, I don't think she ever thought that she'd meet a Beatle, you know.
Sure.
So she was like a silly teenager again, to be honest, which was,
sure.
you know, which was lovely, because she's had a kind of a really shitty few years. So that was it was really nice to, you know, to share the experience with her, and we had a wonderful day, and we revelled playing with that size of show, you know. I mean, we just enjoyed it. People, you know, a lot of people have asked us, you know, was it really nerve-wracking? And I don't think we felt anything apart from that it was just something really celebratory to, you know, to play with somebody that iconic. And the next day we opened the other stage at Glastonbury, so, you know, and by then we'd finished our album, and yeah, it was just one big fucking celebration.